The end of virality on LinkedIn. Hey guys, what's up? Tim Queen here, and today we're going to talk about the new LinkedIn algorithm updates in 2023 and how you have to adjust your strategy based on those new information. A lot of beginners on LinkedIn want to go viral. They see a lot of role models who get a ton of views, like some people get 1,000 views, 100,000 views, some people even get 1 million views with their posts. And like a lot of engagement, people liking the post, commenting, reposting it. And at first glance, that can seem like the ultimate goal. That this is when you have made it on LinkedIn, like when you're getting those kind of numbers. But here's what's changing now with the algorithm update. LinkedIn doesn't really want that because the way those posts are constructed that get this kind of engagement, they're usually quite low quality, meaning they're trying to share some content that is really pushing everyone's emotional buttons. Like I said, there's like a stray dog, and the stray dog has been, trapped in some barbed wire. And there is someone coming, like rescuing the dog and like cleaning it up and giving it medical attention. This content has been specifically designed to create emotionality, like to create everyone like using shock value and pressing everyone's emotional empathy buttons, like in an effort to emotionally manipulate the viewer or the reader. And LinkedIn has noticed that a lot of the viral content on its platform is using exactly this kind of formula, like the kind of Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok posts that have been specifically designed to trigger every emotional button in the book to get as much engagement as possible. And what LinkedIn has decided as a professional platform that they don't want to have that. Now, it's quite difficult, like you can have an idea, like you don't want to have this kind of content, like, but how do you actually prevent this kind of content? Because people are just like emotional beings. They can't help themselves. They just have to press the like button if you trigger enough emotional trigger points in them. So this is where LinkedIn has now recently updated its algorithm in an effort to combat this. So what LinkedIn is doing is a couple of things, but it's going to change the way viral content will no longer be able to work on LinkedIn long term. Change number one, your direct connections and followers are now much more important than ever. That means when someone is following you or someone is connected with you, which makes them a follower by default, they have a 10% higher chance of seeing your content in their feed. Meaning like those organic posts outside of your network are now more rarely. Like LinkedIn really wants to focus on the people who know you and to show them the content. So following you and connecting with you is a much stronger signal to LinkedIn that this content would be relevant to them. Like they try to tailor the content to each individual reader or viewer, and getting people to follow you is much more important. Like you can't just press every emotional button in the book and then go outside of your network. LinkedIn will focus on content inside your network or from the perspective of the viewer. People who you follow and people you're connected with will be more prominent in your newsfeed. So this is really important, and it really helps you to focus on that when you're creating content, to always keep in mind that you want to encourage people to connect with you and to follow you. This makes it way more likely that they will see follow-up content from you in the future. Change number two is LinkedIn is shifting its focus to having educational content. That was true before, but now they're using algorithmic changes and language models to actually enforce that. So what they're going to do is they're using language models to identify what is the post about. Are you sharing advice? Are you sharing knowledge? This will give you a few starter points. And then based on further qualification characteristics, you will get bonus points. The more points you get on the knowledge graph, the more people will see your content. So first, it will identify, are you actually sharing advice or knowledge? That uses language model and is quite easy to identify. But then it will further do a couple of checks. It will look, what is the topic that you're talking about? And does LinkedIn already has a knowledge cluster about that? It could often be a cloud of related hashtags that you're talking about. to imagine this, just think of like a couple of related hashtags. This could define a topic in LinkedIn's eyes. So can your post be linked to a couple of relevant hashtags that LinkedIn is internally using to characterize different content clusters on its platform? If yes, and ideally also if your hashtags in your post match the topic of your post, this will get you additional points. So it can be attributed to a specific field of knowledge. This is really important because once LinkedIn understands what your post is about, it can then also look for people who are interested in that topic. So let's say you're talking about artificial intelligence. Once LinkedIn knows this post is about artificial intelligence, and it can also look up like who else is interested in that, like who wants to see this. So who of your first level connections, who of your followers are interested in artificial intelligence? So this is the first step. Once LinkedIn knows that your content is about a specific topic and it has found readers in your network interested in that, LinkedIn will then qualify your post by looking, are you actually qualified to talk about this? And you might talk about artificial intelligence and the reader might be interested in it, but do you actually have expertise based on your LinkedIn profile? And LinkedIn will look at a couple of factors. For example, if you have a LinkedIn creator mode activated, do you talk about those common content clusters? Is your post in alignment with the hashtags that you have defined as your LinkedIn creator mode profile? You can add up to 5 hashtags to each post. So if there is a mismatch, you might not get additional bonus point. If it's in alignment, you get additional bonus point, which will make it more likely that your post will be shown to a relevant audience. LinkedIn might also look at other factors of your profile. It might look at your experience section, in your education section. Do you have relevant certificates or qualification? Do you have specific skills on your LinkedIn profile that are in alignment with what the post is all about? Now, if you have like an alignment through everything, like your headline, your about section, your creator mode hashtags, your experience section, your skills, your experiences, your qualification, your certificates, if that's all in alignment, you get the maximum number of points possible. It doesn't mean your post will go viral, but you will get the maximum boost in terms of points that are possible on the LinkedIn algorithm. That means when someone is a first level connection or someone follows you, and LinkedIn has the choice between 10 posts to show them, it will take the post which the highest relevancy. So look at, are you interested in that? And then from all the posts that you're interested in, it will focus on showing you content from the most qualified people first, based on the algorithm. That's why it's really important to optimize your LinkedIn profile to really take advantage of this. But of course, you could try to game the system, optimize your LinkedIn profile, and you still might not be able to write a good post, or your post might just not be as valuable. So how does LinkedIn know that you're actually adding something meaningful to the conversation, that people actually enjoy reading, that actually learning something? How does LinkedIn know this? I mean, we're not there yet. We don't have like artificial intelligence on a level that LinkedIn might understand every single post and can evaluate like if you're actually pushing the needle forward and like adding new knowledge to this world. Like, how does it know that? Well, how does it know what is a good post? Well, there are 2 factors. One, it can measure how people are reacting to it. Now, LinkedIn doesn't really care so much anymore about views and likes because those can be gamed quite easily. There is a lot of LinkedIn pods which are coordinating so everyone likes each other's posts. And just is a click of a button, or like maybe some people even have like an automation tool which is automatically liking specific posts. So LinkedIn looks at 2 factors. One is dwell time. This means like how long is actually someone looking at your post. Like the longer someone sees your post on their screen, meaning like they're actually reading it. This is one factor. And the second factor is like how much engagement are you creating? And like when it comes to engagement, like we're looking at comments, like how many people are commenting and what's the quality of those comments. It's like great post, like fire emoji or something like that. That doesn't count. Like LinkedIn doesn't care that. LinkedIn knows this is also something some LinkedIn pods might do. They might just post some generic short comments just to get it over and done with. But it's not a meaningful conversation. So what is LinkedIn looking for? It's looking at really meaningful comments. and this is quite easy, like they can measure it, like they can see like how many words did someone write under the post, and like they can also evaluate with their language models again the quality of the comments. Like, does it really say anything meaningful? Is there a conversation, or is it just a generic comment? So LinkedIn can evaluate the quality of the comments. So knowing that means you can actually influence that by writing better posts that are actually creating conversations. And here's the thing. LinkedIn has a second factor when it comes to evaluating comments. They're looking at the relevance of the comments. Like, are you getting comments from people in the same field? Let's say we're talking about artificial intelligence again. Are you getting people who have similar profiles also in the artificial intelligence field when they're writing comments? Like, are you creating conversation among a group of peers? This is something LinkedIn is really actively looking for. So if your post is really in alignment with your LinkedIn profile, with the topics you're talking about, with all the different areas of your LinkedIn profile, and then it shows the content to people interested in that field, and people in that field are leaving meaningful comments, then we have checked up all the boxes. Now you have the perfect mix. It's having the right conversation among the right people. It's basically creating a virtual group on LinkedIn without you having to be in a LinkedIn group. It's kind of like you're just in a virtual group just simply by your interest and your expertise. So this is what LinkedIn really wants. It wants to have conversations among industry thought leaders who are sharing unique perspectives, sharing knowledge, sharing advice, and less about being promotional or trying to sell something. This is when you're getting the biggest boost on the LinkedIn algorithm, and it's the highest chance that your post will be seen by people it's most relevant to. And the best way you can achieve this by sharing unique perspectives, like not just sharing content or industry news, but always putting a spin onto it, like sharing what you take away from like reading a news article. What is your thought on seeing a breakthrough research paper in your field? Like, what is your opinion about a recent announcement by another company? What is a good piece of information to know given like the current, political situation or industry changes? When you can create content like this, you will not go viral, but your content will get the maximum boost by LinkedIn's algorithm to people it matters the most. And that really brings down like the idea of LinkedIn as a networking platform. It's not just like you're blasting out content to the world. It's also about you building relationship and building a network. That's why it really becomes really important to also focus on not just creating content, but also on engaging with peers. Because the more you are engaging with relevant peers, sharing, like reacting to some of their content, commenting on some of their posts, you also make it more likely that they're also going to comment to your post in return. So it's really important to have clarity. Who are you? Who are you trying to reach? Who are some people in your industry? Who are your peers? And then building relationships with them. And through that process, it becomes a win-win situation. You're sending all the right signals to the LinkedIn algorithm that you're creating highly valuable content that you're qualified to talk about, and you're creating conversations in your industry that bring the entire industry forward. Like, you're helping everyone grow together. And like, when you get this, your LinkedIn algorithm will love you and your content will get the most amount of boost. Now, you're not going to go viral with that because the idea is to limit it to a relevant audience, but you're going to get much better quality engagement. Because what does it matter if someone like at the other end of the world who is working in a different industry is clicking the like button under your post versus someone who is working in the same field and like has the same kind of expertise and knowledge, and we can actually have a conversation which is actually moving the needle forward. It's like creating new knowledge through conversations. LinkedIn really wants to focus on bring the right people together to have a really meaningful conversation. And when you get this, you can get like really, really good engagement on LinkedIn and really grow your network with relevant people. Now, if you want to learn more about how to implement this for yourself, you can also check out my LinkedIn Accelerator program, which shows you exactly how to position yourself as a thought leader and developing a content strategy that works to attract the right audience and to find topics that you're most comfortable talking about based on your expertise. I'm going to put the link down in the description and into the pinned comment below if you want to get more videos about LinkedIn and how to grow your account successfully. Make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and smash the like button. And I'll see you next one. Bye.